Chevy Chase as Ty Webb.
Who is that disgusting man over there?
A sportsman who really knows how to score. So, what brings you to this nape of the woods, back of the way? How come you're here? Rodney Dangerfield as Al Servant, a big shot.
My thing is bigger than your whole boat!
With an even bigger mouth.
Hey guys, it's DJ Wonder Chrissy at back you. Again, it's the evening of Saturday. I decided to do an early video. Hopefully get it out early Sunday morning. But just finished cutting the casa yard here. I've told you guys many times I do it myself. Save a few bucks. But so let's talk about two interesting gentlemen I met at the BMW owner's tent who are in the finance industry. I'm not going to say who they work for, although the company could be described as 10-6 for those people that are into fractions. And actually they live close to me in the same vicinity, and we had a good discussion. And what brought them to me is I was talking to the BMW financial service desk and asking them a few questions, and they heard me, one gentleman heard me make the statement that banks steal from people. And I still firmly believe banks steal from people, but it is, what they're doing is legal. Okay, I want to get that cleared. And they do this in many ways. Just to kind of frame things, I used to work in a finance organization in computers, right? The computer operations backing a finance organization. So I saw several ways, even in the corporate America, that banks mess with corporate companies, and we can go into those at another time. But I have many examples. And on the flip side, you know, I also worked in the insurance industry, and there's many ways that our insurance industry steals, we'll call it stealing, from consumers too, in a legal way, right? It's not illegal, it is all legal, but there's a fine line there. So anyway, this one gentleman heard me say that banks steal, and he wanted to challenge and find out where I was coming from. And you know, I talked about the situation where CD rates, right? Where companies right now are offering the Fed rate or close to the Fed rate. But you got to put money up for 11, 13 months, maybe 9 months at the very least. That period of time has been going down from some banks, but the reason it's been coming down is they realize that if they don't, people are waking up, right? Once the bank started going under like 3-4 months ago, some people woke up and said, hey, you know, I'm still earning like 0.1% here, and the going rate's much more than that if I were to move it to another bank and be a good consumer. So I just want to let know that gentleman that I did check the CD rates that his bank is offering, and it was hard to find anything greater than 1% unless it was some special feature thing, which then they wanted to only do features by zip code, and it's to me it seems kind of collusion at best and not straightforward with the consumer. If you're a bank and you're offering CD rates, you should offer it to everyone no matter what. Unless maybe, hey, if you're Warren Buffett, a high net worth individual, maybe they'll cut you a special deal. But other than that, they should be offering the same thing to everyone in any way. And sometimes that's not the case. So there you go. There is a form or a fashion that banks steal from you. One right there. Another one is, hey, you know, we talked about a couple of videos ago where if you're getting a loan, you know, they're going to charge you any rate that they really want. It's up to you to figure out what's a good rate and what's not a good rate. But on the flip side, they have collateral. So if you're buying a car, all they need to do, which some of them have done this poorly, we won't mention Wells Fargo, but, you know, in a situation now where car prices are starting to come down pretty quickly, some banks didn't manage that process very well and may get themselves caught in a crunch where they have to repossess, right? And we all know, I keep telling you guys, car repossessions nationwide are surging right now, greater than 2008, 2009. Thank you. You got Susie-Q with a drink for me. Say hi to the folks.
Hello.
She's recovered from the BMW Open or Championship and are back to home life here. So where was I? So yeah, that's the way that they protect themselves. They have collateral for everything, folks. It's just a matter of how much interest rate you're going to pay. And when you put your paycheck into that bank, whatever it is they're giving you, they're turning around and they're going to loan it to. Yeah, okay, show them.
We got our first
Look
tomato.
at here, first tomatoes of the year.
We're running a little late with the
We're
garden.
gonna be making some good salads. We're self-sustainable here. They're starting to come in. We got some good aromas. I don't know. This one looks like
I think they're early girl.
early
or
girl.
Best boy. Best
Okay.
boy or something.
Very nice. There you go, folks. The gardener in me. So when you deposit money in a bank, they're going to turn around and they're going to lend it potentially to one of these banks that need some cash. And they're going to charge them the Fed rate, which is like 5.5 right now. I also told you guys probably about a week ago, watch for those CD rates because they're going to start spiking. And I think they're starting to spike in the next couple of weeks. I checked last week and they were back up to 5.3 on the Schwab CD exchange. So come September, when some of these banks need cash, and let me just say, when I go out on the Schwab CD exchange, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 banks that are out there for 30-day CDs. Most of them are rated C- or maybe D. But then again, like I said, I protect myself by at least knowing where they're at in the whole scheme of things. And I'm only investing for 30 days, and I'm only investing less than the FDIC insured amount, which is $250K. But there again, that's just what I'm doing. It's not financial advice. So yeah, I enjoyed talking to these gentlemen and coming away. The big thing I took away from this is they did not deny that we're in a financial crisis. They kind of admitted that, yeah, things are not great. Things are not good. And the consumer needs to be smart. That was kind of their stance. They as much as I talked to them, there was nothing that they came back to me and said that I was totally wrong, except the fact that the one fact that they very much took exception to was that banks are stealing from people. And believe me, they are, folks. I'm going to do a video on other ways that they're stealing from people. But once again, what I said is it's all legal, but you just don't understand what's going on. And it is costing companies and ultimately the consumer extra money. And I feel very confident that I can make a case for that in many ways that most people are not aware of, but I don't want to bore you guys on those details. So yeah, we had a great time talking to these two gentlemen, and it's been a while since I've talked to anybody that had such extensive financial knowledge. Susie-Q is not bad. She likes the stock market and everything, but she gets bored with me talking about finance and some of the nitty-gritty details. And let me just say that the average consumer is got blinders on and really are a good, pretty much a good mark for any bank or financial institution. Believe me, the more and more I talk to people, the more and more I scratch my head, right? And yeah, I'm wearing the old hat here because some people commented that they like the old beat up hat much better, so I got that out for this evening's video. You know, just in going back to the banks, like what they're doing in California, right? People go into the store as long as they steal less than $999 from Walgreens or CVS or where have you. It's really not a crime, right? So that's kind of what the banks are doing, and I'll do a video on some specifics, but I just gave you one where CD rates, you know, they're in collusion with all the other banks in your area. They keep things low and on the sly, hoping that people don't go out and check on the internet or check other banks, which is what I do, right? Because you know, I have a high cash position, and a couple of points here and there can mean a lot of money for me. And I do believe, I think I saw an article where Warren Buffett even started selling some of his bank stocks. He was dumping a ton of stock in some bank. I have to go back and find that. But, you know, be careful with the banks. Have multiple bank accounts where you have money, because you never know when a bank is going to go under. And I got a feeling, you know, based on the recent downgrades of Fitch and Moody's, and actually the downgrade of the U.S. credit rating too, which we talked about on Thursday. Things are not good in the banking industry, and I don't anticipate them getting much better in the near term. So, you know, get ready for these rates to stay high. If not, potentially go higher. Maybe we may see you know, depending on how everything goes in the economy and with the government. The other thing, too, the fourth quarter is when a lot of government numbers come out. So if we go good or bad, you're going to see, I think the best thing you're going to see is the Fed rate's going to hold. If things start getting a little more dicey, you're going to see maybe at least one, maybe two interest raises before the end of the year. So, and like I said, they're not going to go down. I think now I'm hearing, you know, the optimistic people are saying we may see a reduction in the rate late next year. But that's worlds down the road, folks. There's a hell of a lot that can happen between now and the end of next year, and I wouldn't bank on that. So stay out of debt. You know, get your cash savings ready. And I told you, if you're in the market for a BMW, I think the lady I talked to at the financial services says the 50% of the people buy a BMW and finance it, and another 50% are leasing it now in the United States. And she said if you had a 740 FICO score, they were given like about a 4.9 interest rates. I don't know how many years, but that seemed like a decent rate for a car loan at this point, especially, you know, you can get 5 in the market. So personally, if that was me buying a new car, I would finance it at 4.9, and I would just keep the rest of my money in a CD and be riding that for another year or two. So that's all I have today. DJ Wonder Chrissy over and out. And tomorrow we're going to find out who wins the BMW Championship and the $3.6 million. Woohoo! Over and out.